Hello and welcome to English in Daily Life. Today we'll talk about weekends, how we spend them, what we like to do, and how weekends help us find balance between work and rest. You will also hear many useful sentences in the past simple tense like I went, I watched, I met, and I stayed. Weekends are special. They give us time to slow down, to breathe, and to do things we really enjoy. Some people like to rest at home, some travel, some spend time with friends. There is no right or wrong way to spend a weekend, only what feels good for you. So, let's begin. Think about your last weekend. What did you do? How did you feel? Let's explore this topic together, slowly and simply. A typical weekend. My example. Last weekend was calm and simple for me. On Saturday morning, I woke up a little later than usual. It felt nice not to rush anywhere. I made a cup of tea and had a slow breakfast with fruit and toast. After that, I opened the window and listened to the sounds outside. It was sunny and quiet. Later, I decided to clean my apartment. I played some music, folded my clothes, and washed the dishes. It took about an hour, but after cleaning, I felt fresh and light. A clean space always helps me think more clearly. In the afternoon, I met a friend for coffee. We went to a small cafe near the park. We talked about our week, about work, plans, and little things that happened. I really enjoyed that moment. Talking face-to-face always feels better than texting. In the evening, I watched a movie. It was a comedy, nothing serious, just something to relax with. I laughed a lot and felt ready for sleep. Before bed, I read a few pages of a book and thought about how nice it was to have a simple, quiet day. The meaning of rest. Weekends are not only about doing things, they're also about not doing. Rest is important. During the week, we often move fast, think fast, and make many decisions. Our mind and body need time to recharge. When you rest, your brain organizes information, your body recovers, and your energy returns. That's why rest is not lazy, it's smart. Even if you just sit quietly with a cup of coffee or take a short nap, you are helping yourself prepare for the next week. Some people feel guilty when they rest. They think they should always be busy. But being busy all the time doesn't mean being productive. Sometimes the best ideas come when you slow down. During the weekend, give yourself permission to stop for a while. Take a walk without a goal. Listen to music. Do something that feels good but has no pressure. These moments feed your motivation and creativity. Talking about weekends in English, let's look at some simple patterns you can use when talking about your weekend. All of these use the past simple. When someone asks, "What did you do last weekend?" you can answer, "I stayed at home. I met my friends. I went to the park. I watched a movie. I visited my family." If you want to add more details, you can say, "I went to the park and had a picnic with my sister. I watched a movie and then cooked dinner. I visited my parents. We talked and had lunch together." To ask others, you can say, "Did you go anywhere? Did you meet anyone? Did you have a good time? How was your weekend?" When you answer these questions, try to add emotions. It was nice. It was relaxing. It was busy but fun. It was quiet, but I liked it. Adding small details makes conversation natural. Instead of saying, "I stayed at home," say, I stayed at home and cooked something new. Or, I stayed at home and watched my favorite show. That extra detail shows personality and helps the conversation continue. Different types of weekends. Not every weekend is the same. Some weekends are busy, others calm. Sometimes we travel, sometimes we do nothing at all. And that's okay. Let's imagine a few different kinds of weekends. A quiet weekend. You stay at home, clean, read a book, maybe cook something special. You feel peaceful and ready for Monday. A social weekend. You meet friends, go to a restaurant, see a movie, or visit family. You talk, laugh, and feel connected. An active weekend. You go hiking, swimming, or cycling. You move your body and feel strong. A creative weekend. You paint, write, cook, or make something with your hands. You feel proud because you created something new. Each type of weekend gives you different energy. Some give you peace, others excitement, and some give you inspiration. It's good to have a mix of all of them. When you talk about your weekend in English, you can use phrases like, "It was busy but nice." "It was quiet but relaxing." "I did many things." "I didn't do much, but it was good." Simple sentences, but real and easy to understand. Balance between work and rest. The weekend helps us balance our lives. During the week, we work, study, or take care of things. At the weekend, we can focus on ourselves. That balance keeps our mind healthy. If we only work, we burn out. If we only rest, we lose progress. But when we combine both, we grow. Try to find your personal balance. Maybe Saturday is your active day, cleaning, shopping, meeting people, and Sunday is your quiet day, relaxing, reflecting, preparing for the week. This rhythm creates peace. It also makes Monday feel lighter. When you give yourself time to rest, you start the new week with more energy. You can even create small weekend traditions. Maybe you cook pancakes every Saturday morning. Maybe you call your family every Sunday evening. Maybe you go for a walk at sunset. Traditions like these make weekends special and help you look forward to them. Emotions and reflection. At the end of each weekend, take a few minutes to think about how it went. Ask yourself, what made me feel happy? What did I enjoy? What do I want to do next time? Reflection helps you know what kind of rest works for you. If something didn't feel good, you can change it next time. If something made you smile, you can do it again. You can also talk about emotions when describing your weekend in English. For example, I felt relaxed. I felt happy. I felt tired, but proud. I felt lazy, but peaceful. Talking about feelings makes your English more natural and human. You don't just describe what you did, you describe how you experienced it. Example conversations. Let's listen to some short examples. Example 1. What did you do last weekend? I stayed at home and watched a movie. It was relaxing. Example 2. Did you go anywhere? Yes, I went to the beach with my friends. The weather was perfect. We swam and had lunch together. Example 3. How was your weekend? It was nice. I visited my parents and helped them in the garden. Example 4. Did you have a busy weekend? A little. I cleaned my apartment, did some shopping, and met a friend for dinner. Example 5. What did you enjoy most? I enjoyed spending time outside. It helped me relax after a long week. Simple dialogues like these help you practice past simple and real communication. Finding joy in small moments. Weekends remind us that joy often comes from small things. You don't need to travel far or do something big to enjoy your time. Happiness is often in simple moments, sitting in the sun, drinking tea, listening to music, or taking a nap. When you notice these small moments, your weekends become richer. They're not just 2 days, they're small pieces of life to enjoy fully. If you want to make your weekends more meaningful, try to include one of these ideas. Do something creative, even for 10 minutes. Spend time in nature. Meet someone who makes you smile. Turn off your phone for an hour and just be present. When you add intention to your weekend, it becomes a true rest for the mind and soul. When Sunday evening comes, many people feel a little sad that the weekend is ending. That's normal. But instead of focusing on what's over, focus on what's ahead. You can use Sunday night to prepare gently for the next week. Write a few notes, plan small goals, or simply think about what you're grateful for. Saying goodbye to the weekend doesn't have to feel heavy. It can feel peaceful if you remember that every new week is another chance to grow, learn, and enjoy. You can even say to yourself, "I had a good weekend. Now I'm ready for a new start." That mindset turns Sunday evening into something soft and hopeful, not stressful. So, let's review what we talked about today. We learned how to describe weekends in English using the past simple. I went, I stayed, I watched, I met, I visited. We talked about different kinds of weekends: quiet, active, social, creative. We also learned that rest is not a waste of time but a way to recharge. And we discussed how weekends help us balance work and life. Remember, when you talk about your weekend, you're not just practicing English, you're also learning to notice small joys and to appreciate your own rhythm. Next time someone asks you, "What did you do last weekend?" you'll be ready to answer with calm, simple sentences, and maybe with a little smile. Thank you for listening to English in Daily Life. Take care of yourself, enjoy your next weekend, and remember, even small moments of rest are important.